Hey everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing my June book haul. So just in case you guys don't know, I'm in the middle of a move, which is why there are no books on my shelves and it's kind of chaos behind me and it's going to be echoey, and I apologize for that, but I did want to make sure to get this video filmed before I actually move so then I don't forget to haul any of these books. So I actually already have changed the address for all of my pre-orders, so these are like the last books that I will be receiving. This is going to be the last book haul at this house, and it's like a pretty small one, but there are some books here that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So today's video is sponsored by Karma, and I have worked with them a couple of times in the past and I truly love them, like really love them. So Karma used to be known as ShopTagger, and it is a Google Chrome extension and an app that you can use to help you save money. I actually was able to save money on the books in this haul because I watched for when they had price drops. I had them saved to my list, and when they had a price drop, I got a notification, so then I was able to buy them for a lot cheaper than I would have before.
Using Karma honestly could not be more simple. All you do is go to your favorite website, and while you're shopping, when you see an item you love, all you have to do is love it and save it to your list. So you save it to a list, you can have it notify you when there's a price drop of any kind, it will notify you when things are back in stock, and then you can also organize it into a specific list, so then it keeps things from getting really overwhelming.
I use Karma for pretty much everything, like all my clothes, all my makeup, everything. I love using it because it prevents me from making impulse purchases and paying full price for things. And one of my favorite features is that it lets you know when things are back in stock as well. So sometimes like my size will be out of stock or whatever, and I'm able to sign up for a notification so I can know when whatever I'm looking at comes back in stock. And that has come in handy many times. Karma can also actually help you save even more money because there is this feature where it will search for coupon codes for whatever you're purchasing. And I have definitely found quite a few with that and been able to save even more than I was originally saving, which there's nothing like that. Like just finding a coupon code and saving some extra money right when you're about to check out, it's always just the cherry on top and makes that purchase that much more exciting. Karma also allows you to earn cash back via PayPal with certain retailers, which is just an extra way to make your shopping experience that much better. Now, when you save an item on Karma, you are able to organize that into different lists. So like I said, I have a lot of different interests, and I love the fact that I can keep them separate so then it's all organized and doesn't get overwhelming. So I'll have a book list, a list for activewear, a list for different clothes, home goods, everything really. So I will have a link in the description box down below for you guys to check out Karma. I definitely recommend it if you are like me and you love online shopping. It is super helpful and definitely worth checking out. So don't forget to get the app as well, because that will help you to get even more savings and get the maximum bang for your buck. So now getting into today's video, I'm actually going to start off with the two books out of these that I have read already. So the first one is Luck of the Titanic by Stacey Lee. I will be talking about this more in a recent reads video soon, but I did talk about it in my most recent reading vlog, so I'll have that link down below for you guys. But this is a historical fiction, and it is based on the fact that there was recently evidence that came out that there were 8 Chinese passengers on the Titanic and 6 of them survived, and their stories were never told. They weren't given the same respect as other survivors, so Stacey Lee has taken it upon herself to write a story in honor of them, and I think that is just amazing. I talk about this in my recent reads and in the reading vlog, but when I was a kid, I had an obsession with shipwrecks, so I knew that this was going to be a success for me, and it really was. You are following twin acrobats, and they are just such amazing characters to follow, particularly the main character, Valora, and it's just life on the Titanic, so you know that it's going to have a tragic ending, you know it's going to be tragic, but it's not really like a sad story all the way through because it's really easy to forget where it's set. I think this is a very well done historical fiction. It's my favorite by Stacey Lee, and I really enjoy her writing, so I am just so excited that she decided to tackle the Titanic, and I think she did a fabulous job. This is definitely worth checking out for a new historical fiction if you are looking for one, especially because like I feel like the Titanic is kind of an iconic story, but there's not really, this is the only YA book that I know of that covers it, and it's different than other historical fictions in that way, especially because this gives you a different perspective. It is from a person of color perspective and in the third class, but you also get the first class there, so it kind of covers like all facets of the Titanic, and there are a bunch of different issues tackled in here, and I just thought it was really well done. So I'm so excited that I have this book finally and that I have read it. I was so excited for it leading up to it coming out, and it didn't disappoint, which is always great. Next up, I actually just finished this book like before I was filming this video, and that is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. So Emily Henry is the author of Beach Read, and she also has some YA books. I've only read one of her YA books, except I actually also have read one that she co-authored, but I wasn't really a big fan of that one. But I am not sure if I enjoyed this one or Beach Read more. Both of them I just loved, and I had a feeling I was going to love this one. So it's a friends to lovers, opposites attract, and second chance romance, which are like three of my favorite tropes, and it's also about travel. So like everything about that is just something that I'm going to love. And it's set in all sorts of different places, and it's also alternating between then and now. So you get their relationship in the past, and then they haven't talked for 2 years because something happened, and now they have started talking again because they're on a vacation together again. And they used to take these trips like every summer, so you're following all the different trips leading up to present day and the one that kind of like changed everything. But the chemistry between these characters is fantastic. It's amazing. I love the fact that it was a really well-rounded story. I loved their personalities. Like, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating, and that's like my favorite romance story. So I felt like the dynamic between the two characters was kind of similar, but I just absolutely loved this. Like, it was so enjoyable. It transported me. It had a great romance. It had more going on to it. Like, everything about it was fantastic and exactly what I was wanting. I loved the fact that there was travel and that the main character was a travel writer. Like, it was just so good. So I will talk about this more in a recent reads video soon, but yeah, it was really great, and I'm glad that I have it and was able to read it very close to when it came out. Next up is actually a book that I have had for a while now, but I didn't realize that I never actually included in a book haul, but that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I'm sure you have seen this book. It has been like all over TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but like I see the reels and everything, so I know that it's been all over bookish social media. It's been all over Bookstagram, all of that. And I wasn't planning on reading it, but I am going to do a reading vlog soon-ish, I don't know when, probably after the move, where I read some TikTok hyped reads, and I felt like I had to read this one. Like, it just made sense to include this one in there, so I picked it up, and I wasn't expecting it to be as big as it is, 1. And 2, I didn't realize that, like, this book came out last year, and I think she's writing, like, the 3rd one just came out, and then she's writing the 4th. That one's going to come out soon. Like, she is writing these so quickly, and it is wild to me. But this is a fantastical adult romance, and I've never really read any of those. I guess I have read Sarah J. Maas, but this is just kind of different than what I feel like I would typically go for. But I've just heard so much hype surrounding it that I felt like I had to pick it up and see what all that hype is about and see if I'm going to be on the side of liking it or thinking that it's kind of overhyped. So we shall see. Next up are actually a couple of books that were sent to me by the publisher, so thank you very much to them for sending them to me. But that is Saints and Misfits and Misfit in Love by S.K. Ali. So I actually included this in my book shopping online video because I was hoping to get this new cover, but I didn't get it, so I'm actually going to return that one because I love this new cover for this series. It's a YA contemporary, and it follows a Muslim main character, and she says that the world is divided into 3 kinds of people in her life. Saints, who are those special people moving the world forward, misfits, people who don't belong, like herself, and finally monsters. Well, monsters wearing saint masks. So I'm not not exactly sure what to make of that, but I do know that I've heard some really great things about these stories, and I am obviously interested in them since I went to go and pick it up myself. And I know this is a sequel. I don't know if it's a companion or if it's like completely different, but I definitely am looking for more YA contemporary to add to my TBR because I feel like I just go through them so quickly. So I'm really excited to have both of these. Also, I feel like these covers match, but like also not. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I like this cover a lot better than this one. This one I just feel like it's not as like, I don't know. It's like a weird match. I'm just gonna move on from that because that doesn't make any sense, but yeah. Next up is Last Chance Books by Kelsey Rodkey. So I actually pre-ordered this, and honestly, the cover is definitely what intrigued me the most about this one. Like, this cover is so beautiful. I am just obsessed with it. Like, it looks like the little penguin and puffin special editions on the bottom. Like, it just looks so cute. But this is an enemies to lovers romance, and I was kind of planning on reading this soon, but then I had a bad enemies to lovers experience recently, so that is why I think I might wait a little bit to pick this one up. But this one I think might be a little bit more successful because it deals with books, and I mean, I don't know where you can go wrong with that. This is essentially following two different characters. The one is at this little like indie bookshop that has been there forever, and then there's this chain bookshop that ends up opening up down the road. And obviously there's a rivalry there, there's competition, there's tension, and then that's where the enemies to lovers romance comes in. So I think that I might like this one a little bit more than the previous enemies to lovers story that I read. Just with bookshops and everything, it sounds like it's going to be something that I might have some more success with, but it's kind of reminding me a little bit of Jennifer Dugan's last book. I can't think of what it's called. Verona Comics. That one was with like rival comic shops, so we'll see how this one is. Speaking of, actually, the next book here is Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan. So this is the author I was just talking about, Verona Comics. That's the only book of hers that I have read, but this is her most recent release. This was actually also sent to me by the publisher, so thank you so much to them for sending it my way. But I did really enjoy Verona Comics. It definitely was a lot more emotional than I was expecting, and that's why I kind of don't know what to expect from this one. This is a queer romance, and it is really about characters who they find their first love while they're still discovering who they are, which obviously is like a complicated situation, and I think that it sounds like it could be really great. It's blurbed by Casey McQuiston, who I love. That is the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, so I definitely have some pretty high hopes for this one. Next up is another book that was sent to me by the publisher, and that is The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. So this is an ARC. This book is actually coming out. Wait, maybe it's not actually an ARC. It doesn't say that it's an ARC anywhere, but I totally thought it was an ARC. No, I think this is a finished copy. Yeah, there's a barcode on it. Well, the more you know. I think the paperback for this one just came out, but it was actually out in hardcover before. Like, I remember seeing the hardcover, and it's like dark blue with like yellow and pink kind of like vines on it, plants or whatever. But yeah, I did not realize this was a finished copy. Well, so this is another story that deals with shipwrecks, which I just have a very strange fascination with. But this one is like a shipwreck that has to do with the main character's family. So she moves to this coastal town that they would visit every year, but this shipwreck involved her grandmother, and her great-great-great-grandmother was the sole survivor of this shipwreck that sank off the coast of Maine. She swam to shore, fell in love, and founded the town, which she named Lyric. So like, that literally just intrigued me the most. And then there are like wreck hunters who are trying to find out more about this ship, and like, I just feel like this could be really interesting. I think it's going to be a great summer read because it's set during the summer, but it just sounds like it's going to be a unique story. Like, that plot line intrigues me. It's kind of mysterious, and I want to know more. Next up is Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Julia Goffney. So this just came out. I had pre-ordered it, but it follows a character who really likes lists. She makes lists for pretty much everything, but like, they're private. She likes to keep these lists to kind of keep track of things, and someone ends up discovering these lists and blackmailing her to reveal them all to everyone. And this is very traumatic for her. She does not want this to happen. So she ends up teaming up with this guy who is the last person who had it to try and like race against time to find out who the blackmailer is. So I love the concept of lists and like having these lists that are so important to the main character. And I have read quite a few books actually that deal with like that blackmail sort of similar situation, and I've really enjoyed them. So it definitely makes me have high hopes hopes for this one, and once again, it is another contemporary to add to my TBR, so that also makes me really happy. And the final 2 books were also sent to me by the publisher, so thank you once again very much to them. But this next one is Made in Korea by Sarah Suk. This seems really interesting because it is about 2 characters who have like a rival beauty store, but like I think it's like more of a like enterprise where they do it on their own at school. They're selling these beauty products, but they end up being rivals and like being competitors. But also, obviously, I'm kind of expecting a romance from this one. It sounds like it's going to be really interesting. Looks super cute. I love this cover, so definitely one that I'm looking forward to reading. Finally is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So another one that looks like it's going to be a great summer contemporary poolside read, but I have a feeling this is going to deal a lot with like movies, rom-coms, those sorts of things. Like obviously there's kind of a lot of, I mean, there's a couple of iconic movie scenes that you can see here, like Dirty Dancing. I forget what this one is called. Oh, is it 16 Candles that's from? I don't think it's 16 Candles, but the point is, I think this is going to have a lot to do with classic rom-com movies, and it kind of seems like a story where like her crush moves back into town, and this guy that she doesn't really get along with, he is the one who can help her to get to her crush, but I feel like it's kind of gonna go, you know, she's gonna realize maybe the crush isn't the person for me, so we shall see, but it sounds like it's going to be cute and fun. So those are all the books that I wanted to share with you guys today that I have acquired recently. I feel like it's a pretty good stack, but I know that I also have quite a few new books waiting for me when we finally move, and I am gonna have another big book haul for you guys soon, so look forward to that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please let me know if you have read any of these books, your thoughts on them, and thank you so much once again to Karma for sponsoring me today. Don't forget to check them out in the link down below. It will change your online shopping experience, honestly. But thank you guys so much once again for watching, and I will see you in my next video soon. Bye!